But we don't show prep, so so he had no idea.
I just barely make it in.
I'm sure you can tell, but we don't show prep.
I mean, let's put the cards down on the table here.
Illustrious. Styles.
Miami Hurricanes, yeah. You know the name already. It's Mercy. Ha ha. It's a 6-rig Kane show. Can't forget the name though. Got Jazz, Blue, Fishy, DJ, break the game code. Ain't no changing them, ain't no breaking them. Real Portland live from the Hard Rock Stadium. Ball 14 for the orange and green. We see the 6-rig champs. It's more than a dream. This is life on the field. Beyond 100 yards, a hurricane that's never still put a damage to your squad. The 6-rig Kane show. The 6-rig Kane show. The 6 Rings Kane show. You know.
What's wrong with us? Seriously.
What's wrong with us? We're Miami Hurricanes fans.
Welcome to the 6 Rings Kane Show, a show dedicated to Miami Hurricane sports, featuring the legendary Larry Bluestein, Jazz Santana, Vish, and Danny Gillette. Let's go Canes.
Welcome back, everybody. Hola, ¿cómo están? What's going on, fellas?
Estoy bien.
We're here.
Busy spring, middle of spring.
Yes, sir. Spring is actual spring is finally upon us. So spring practice is just starting to heat up. So
I don't know about you, DJ. It's freaking cold here.
Yep, it is pretty cold. Not gonna lie.
It's like 80 degrees.
What the hell happened to spring?
84 degrees right here.
Spring came and went.
Vish, feel free to remove Jazz and Blue anytime they start talking about 80 degree weather.
It's nice and warm, nice and toasty here.
Yeah, not
air
up here.
conditioning blasting.
Yeah, our baseball team suffered through that this weekend.
Don't even get me started on that. I mean, anyway, I know
They're gonna kill me, man. They're literally gonna. I can't take this anymore.
We've got a show. We've got a makeup show to do about that.
They're gonna kill me. I cannot sit through this anymore.
Yeah, they need to stop with the whole cardiac Kings crap.
It's just like every game. It's like
unbelievable,
geez.
Unbelievable. Well, listen, we got some good news on the college football front from recruiting wise. We got a big time commit this past weekend. We also had a transfer out at the same position, which, look, if you've been watching the show, you know that we've been talking about this quite a bit. So, and there's going to be a lot more to come. So buckle down, Kings fans, because some of you may not be happy about what's going to come down the road. So, but it is what it is. It's a numbers game, and you're always going to have these things kind of happen, especially now with the new transfer portal rules and all that stuff. So, but before we even get to that, I want to give a shout out, and I know you guys did it already, Vish, but congratulations and bittersweet, right, to Katie Meier on her retirement from the game, from college basketball. Obviously, she's an amazing person. First and foremost, an amazing person, but a great college basketball coach as well. Led this Miami Hurricanes team for 19 years and did a kick-ass job, right? So hats off to her, and as she sails into the sunset on her retirement from the game. But I don't know. It's going to be hard to replace a cat like Katie Meier.
Literally, she headed down to the Keys and got on her boat. So
That's right.
Literal sail off into the sunset.
She literally did. I'm sure. So I know you Vish, you're close to Coach Meier and the whole women's program. So I'm sure it was kind of bittersweet, but more bitter than sweet.
Yeah, did not see this coming. So
no kidding.
We had 4 episodes of Buckets last week because
Oh my God,
stuff kept happening.
know, it's
And
crazy.
actually, like a couple of like the key players from the women's team entered the portal today. So
nice.
still keeps
Here we go. Right.
just keep rolling. Yeah.
Until they find someone. Which listen, I'm sure they're in a position to go grab a really good coach. So you guys will talk about it on Buckets, but excited to see
there's
coming down the road.
Buckets Wednesday. Yep.
There you go. And so turning it over to college football. What's up, Danny Barry? What's going on, fresh? I see you in here. Yeah, no kidding, right? Considering the way things are going, but.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's. I mean, he's talking about us specifically, but at some point, if there isn't roster expansion with the halves. Well, I mean, as things keep changing and there's consolidation around a few leagues.
Yeah, that's true.
There's much more of a 2-tiered system than there was even 10 years ago. And I know our fans complain a lot, but we are in that upper. There's 4 conferences now, and everyone else is just worthless.
Pretty much,
the Ghana, that like the UCFs and all of them have left the smaller conferences and moved up. Like there aren't a lot of
even teams like SMU are now in a big conference, right?
Yeah,
like,
so
crazy.
In order to handle that, there's such a big gap there. I wouldn't be surprised if we see larger rosters come back.
Good point. That you make a good point there. Blue, this past week, and we talked about it a little bit last week, right? About seeing some separation. Now with the pads and them going at it a little bit more, with a scrimmage-ish type of weekend. Well, particularly on Saturday, where you had the guys really kind of go at it a little bit more, and then show potentially some separation, right? From the information I gathered before we even speak, there was a lot of really good stuff out there. But there was also maybe 1 or 2 concerning things, and I want to get to both of them. But I really want you kind of to talk a little bit about what the atmosphere and the vibes were like out there. Not only that, right? You had some recruits come in on unofficial visits, some big time guys. Maybe you can kind of speak on that as well, on some of the guys you saw out there, and of course the big time commitment as well that we'll get to a little bit later, but. Talk to me a little bit about the guys you saw out there, the vibe, the energy. What was it like? It's a little bit different now. Has it started to change how Miami football is practicing, how they are going about their business? What did you like when you saw what you saw out there from that perspective?
Well, they had planned, obviously, going in to be outside and, do everything outside, but the rain was terrible. Throughout, so it kind of forced everything inside. And I'll tell you what, a lot of kids stepping up, a lot of talent on that football field. As we mentioned, you flash back 2 years ago, and what night and day. It's just night and day. Your quarterback position, as we were talking in the pre-show, is just as good as it's been. As good as it's been, probably hate to say, and that Jakuri will be the odd man out. Obviously, that he's probably gonna, not probably. He'll look for another place. He has to. He's really a good guy, and he just too inconsistent for what they're doing right now. And you look at the first 3 quarterbacks in that system with Ward and Poffenbarger and a kid that we saw last year, Emory Williams, who looks like he got bigger, stronger. His arm strength is really good. Definitely right now with he and Nico proposed to be the future of the team over the next couple of years. But you never know anymore with the stupid NIL crap. So you never know. Right now, and there was a bunch of guys like former Hurricanes that were around me, and all of them. Xavier Restrepo is the best football player in that team. I don't care what position. Bain's great, but Restrepo is just a different level. He's a different level. A whole different level. He lifts that team He's causing separation against guys that they, figure that are going to be the guys at the beginning of the year. I'll just say offense because I don't want to cut Bain. Bain's a beast. But I'll tell you what, Elijah Lofton. No way you're going to park that Lamborghini in the garage. No way.
The guy does it all, right? Swiss Army knife, from what I hear. Running back, tight end, all of it.
6 different positions. And I remember when I was telling you last year, I watched their state title game against Liberty, and I said, "Hey, Jazz, you know that he threw one, ran one, caught one, and picked off a ball."
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's whole different level. The offensive line, the size is daunting. I know, last year it was getting bigger, but this year, that weight room, everybody's really looking good. The running game, it's kind of tough, to tell, but I think, with the addition, I think they're going to kind of take the wrapper off of maybe one freshman. Because they still have to get Chris Johnson in the flow. What's his name's who looks great. What's his name? I can't even think. The young kid that was out the last 2 years.
Citizen.
He looks, oh my gosh. He's a rock looking kid. I had a chance to talk to him.
Yeah, he was always kind of the most talented kid in that room. Just couldn't.
Oh my gosh. I'll tell you, Vish, he's when he's ready to go, he's got those fresh wheels.
Right. That's the thing, right? He's got no wear and tear. He's got the wear and tear from the surgeries, but no wear and tear from getting beat up or getting tackled and getting hit hard. So
that surgery that Wilson McGahee had that year, it didn't seem to kill him in the NFL. So I think this guy's going to be really, really special. AJ Allen's hurt, but he's still a dude, he's still, as you and I watched last year in that scrimmage, Jazz, he can get up in that hole pretty quickly when needed. I don't think the running game is going to be a concern. They're going to get a portal receiver somewhere along the line. They got to, because they got guys, but do they have enough? Do they have enough dependable guys? Right. Jacoby's really a good receiver, but if he reverts back to, his attitude, it hurts everything. Right. And that's not, calling him out. That's just the truth. It's a fact.
Absolutely.
Well, tight end position is still, you got guys, but do you have guys that are going to make plays? Right. Arroyo's a nice looking kid. But
Lofton could figure in. He could figure in at that position, Lofton.
Yeah. Amongst everything else,
right?
He'll be handing out water bottles too, I'm sure.
No
kidding. He's gonna be everywhere. So the offense looked really good. It can score some points.
Good.
And no matter who you have behind, and it's good to know that if something should happen to Ward, that they're in good hands. The Poffenbarger kid unleashed one like 72 yards, so he's got a pretty big arm on him. And Emery, if you didn't know, Emery's not bad. But as far as defense is concerned, a couple of injuries that were held out, a couple of guys held out. But
hold on a second before you get into
I'm
defense.
sorry.
No. The talk of the offense for me was JoJo Trader looking like he's ready to come in and he's going to start day one, right?
Well,
that's the biggest thing. Talk to me about how JoJo looked, because
he's different level kid. I did omit him, but and I kept watching the number 6 coming right at me the whole game. He's everything is advertised. I don't know, it's gonna, a lot has to be during the summer, how he's going to do during the summer, whether he starts. He's definitely going to be the first man right off the bench. I know Horton, I read that. Yeah, well, Horton's still got 3 years of playbook behind him too. Right. So that's kind of experience is good. I want to see more. We got to see more of Ray. Got to. And there's another guy who's got that quickness big time. Yeah, JoJo Trader's whole different level, but everybody kind of knew that, and he was kind of hidden behind Jeremiah.
Right.
But you know what? You look at the guys, and I'm not saying that he's the total answer, but it's kind of funny since they got Sly Johnson that all his kids, JoJo's, Restrepo, have turned it up to just an unbelievable different notch, So, and I think that him working with a lot of those kids from when they were younger, helps. What happened? You were laughing.
Yeah, because of what Melissa typed in the chat.
What'd she say?
Well, I mean, is this not insulting to the three of us? Just here for Blue.
She sees you all.
We're all kind of here for Blue, also.
This might or might not be a true statement.
Yeah. Showing love for Blue.
What are you waiting for, Vish?
Yeah, I know, right? Shout out to Mel.
What's up, Mel? How you doing?
We're all here for Blue. Okay, so Blue, I'm gonna turn it on you though.
No, don't.
I'm gonna look at Max now. Max looks what he says. I'm just here for Melissa. You guys are unbelievable, man. Jesus Christ.
Pimp down
what's going on, big guy? So I got a question for you, right? Because there's a little bit of talk out there that the Canes might be looking around a little bit at the offensive line for particularly one position, and that's a center position.
Yeah.
They don't know if there's some talk out there from that they're not necessarily completely convinced on the play of Zach Carpenter, and I think primarily from a pass pro, I think is the big deal. I don't know. I haven't been at practice. I haven't seen it myself, but the talk is that a lot of people aren't convinced on his play just yet. How did you kind of assess Carpenter's play? I know you said the offensive line looks good, but how did you assess Carpenter?
He's solid. Let's look at what we had last year.
Yeah, that's hard.
The guy's going to be
hard to
playing
compare, right?
Yeah, it's a guy that's going to be playing on Sundays. I think the very fact that the rest of the guys on the offensive line are really good, it's going to kind of help him out, because if there's any double team, it's going to go towards Rivers or Mawanoa, or, it's not going to go to him so much.
Right.
So I don't think he's going to get a lot of pressure, but one damn injury and you're down to 5 or 6 guys. So
right.
Yeah, I think I think linebacker, I think secondary.
What about the left guard? Who was in that left guard on the first team? Who was it? Who was the guy? Because I know that's been one that there's some competition out there. It's Okunlola, Tommy Kinsler.
Yeah, Kinsler was there. Both of those guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but it's really tough because they didn't do a full out scrimmage, like that. Right. I mean, they blew the whistle a lot.
More scripted plays is what it was.
Yeah, it was controlled.
Right.
Yeah, so they didn't let everybody go. So the offensive line, what they did is they made those a block and sustained it and then they blew the whistle. Gotcha. They didn't have to fight so it was really. I mean, I'm not going to say that he let the world on fire, but it was a little tough to judge. If you're just judging it from the other day, I wouldn't do that.
Well, you're also asking him to cover potentially the best defensive line in the ACC, and maybe one of the top in the country too. And that the guys that he's going to have to go against.
Oh yeah, well that'll only make him better. And sure. You look at some of these programs like Ohio State or Georgia. When their guys got to go against each other, that's pretty much the best they're going to face. So
absolutely,
I think secondary is still a weakness. It's they've got some pretty good guys. Still got to find a safety. Although, what's his name? My head's blanked.
Stepped up. Powell, Savion Riley, Jaden Harris.
Yeah,
Patterson?
No, not Harris. I'll think of it.
Jaden Harris.
Yeah, Jaden Harris. Yeah,
Jaden Harris.
He had a really good. I think he's made huge strides.
That's good. That's exciting.
But they need more depth. The cover corners are okay, but you remember when they got to go against some of these teams.
Yeah.
In the ACC, they're gonna need some really good cover guys. But that being said, I think their front seven is really starting to come along. And if the front seven starts dominating up front, it'll give the secondary a whole lot more leeway. So, but yeah, Miami's defensive line potentially, and I said next year with the edge and the defensive end kids, maybe as good as any in the country. I mean, they're stacked, young kids though, but they're stacked for the future. And linebackers are still, okay. They're not real deep with experience.
Right. I saw one play where I saw Darius Harris, the new kid, the new
Yeah.
He's got some long.
He's
arms.
got real long
arms, very rangy. I think
yeah, but again, you would much rather be inserting juniors and seniors and experienced guys, and not so much first year freshmen to begin with. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you got a couple of guys come back from last year that had good years, but depth is going to be key, because we see how many times did Miami come in and at the beginning of the week they say, "Oh, well, this guy's not playing this week. This guy's not playing," a bunch of times. So depth is going to be, that's what he wants. He had said that, talking to a lot of the people, that we need depth. We need depth everywhere, but we need depth on that defense, because, let's say that a Bain goes down.
God forbid, knock on wood on that.
There's nobody next to him caliber wise, that's what I'm saying. When people used to say when Miami got Leonard Taylor, oh, look, but you know what? Georgia, Ohio State, all those teams are getting 2 and 3 of those guys at a time. So that's where Miami's differential from being a power 4 big, elite top 10 team is their depth, or lack of it.
Yeah, they're getting there little by little.
Yeah. Well, shoot, like I told you, I sent the roster of 2022 to a buddy of mine who lives up north, and sent him this year's, and he writes me back. He goes, "Oh my God, what a night and day!" And then by next year, you flash that 2022 thing, and you go, "The hell was Manny thinking?"
Let me tell you, that's a big shout out and a big props to Coach Cristobal and that staff for.
But he said that, Jazz, from the day he got here, that we're going to upgrade every year, and he has. And I can say, all these people, oh, Cristobal can't do this, and but everything that he said he was going to do, he's done. Coaching wise, he's doing his best to upgrade every single thing, and they have. You can't argue with that.
Well, speaking of depth, you were talking about it, how important it is, and I think Miami's continuing to beef up that defensive line, as good as it is already. No, I'm not. I'm not back. I'm not eating Taco Bell. Although, hold on a second. Time out. Actually, let me backtrack, because I'd be lying. If I didn't tell you that I did have Taco Bell this weekend. It was a late night, and I didn't feel like cooking at home. And I did. There was a Mexican pizza and a chicken quesadilla somewhere in there. I can't tell you whether I ate it all or not, but there isn't any left in my fridge. So
the mouse must have got it.
I digress. That's it. No more. No more talking about. I did see it. We'll talk about. I did see it.
It was Taco Bell related.
Yep. I did see it. And to be honest, Chick-fil-A won the poll as well, from what I understand. So I digress. I'm sorry, Vish. Yeah. Beef. Speaking of beef. Speaking of beefing up.
Look at that transition.
It looks like Miami may be in the mix for another guy at defensive end. It looks like they are going hard after Romello Height, who is a former Miami commit, ended up at Auburn, then transferred over to Southern Cal, to USC. Had a pretty decent year last year. Had some nice numbers. A big kid, about 6'3", 6'4", 230, 240 pounds, can come in and be another key piece here at the defensive line. Be able to play and give guys like Bain and Mesidor and Alston not only a breather, but actually get some significant time.
Yeah, I agree.
Those guys, you can always move think about this I guess this rush package, right? Of having Bain and Mesidor inside, and then put Alston and Height on the outside. I mean, that's gonna be exciting to watch if they decide to do something like that. So it's all about, I think it's all about mismatches. It's about creating those mismatches on the line and specific downs and excuse me, and and spots in the game where you can kind of take advantage of that when maybe they're tired, when maybe the offensive line is tired. I mean, this is Lance Guidry and Coach Nicholson. By the way, shout out to Coach Nicholson. Congratulations, co-defensive coordinator now at the U. So that's a big move. And to be quite honest with you, I'm sure someone was trying to snag him because that guy is the truth, right? So well deserved promotion there for Coach D Nick as well. But listen, it's Miami continues to stack, and that's what you have to do to be able to compete with the Ohio States and the Alabamas and Michigans and you name it, Georgias of the world, all these big time schools. You got to be able to stack talent, and you got to be able to have some depth, and that's where Miami has been lacking a lot lately, and now they're starting to build that up. So, big shout out to Lex as well. We have a whole ass conversation here in the chat with the Flow crew and with the Buckets crew too. So I love it. Speaking of transfer portal guys, right? We saw another one. We saw Miami lose another guy to the transfer portal. Although we kind of saw this one coming, Henry Parrish has decided to hit the transfer portal as well. I know a lot of people are thinking that maybe he might go back to Ole Miss, play with Coach Smith again over at Ole Miss. But look, the truth of the matter is Miami needs to get down. They need to get their numbers down. You're going to see some players that you really liked hit the portal. Okay, he's not going to be the first. As you mentioned, Blue, Jakari Brown is another kid that you might need to look at, considering the way that Poffenbarger and Emery are playing. And even Judd Anderson is out there, kind of looking really good. So you're going to have a lot of that. And I haven't heard from you, DJ, yet, so I kind of want to throw this to you first. Are you surprised at some of the names that that we've been talking about that are now starting to hit the portal? Are you surprised by that? Is that something where you expect Miami to lose a couple more guys that are, I guess you can call it fan favorites per se?
It's always this tough line of wanting to cut down the roster and needing to cut down the roster, and what that means is that you might have to lose some of the guys you like, and even some of the top contributors, because you talk about stacking depth and things like that, and Miami's starting to get to that point. I mean, now you have contributors that you want on the team and guys that just either won't be able to find playing time or just aren't good enough. So as much as it's, as much as it hurts, it's not really a surprise because it's unfortunately the nature of the business. And, I just hope, honestly, and I hope with all these players that they find homes somehow, because a lot of these players are solid contributors that can contribute somewhere else. But at the end of the day, I'm not surprised. I mean, like I said, it's the nature of the business. This is what happens, and unfortunately, you got to make some tough decisions. And I certainly wouldn't want to be the one making these decisions, but I just wish the best for everybody who's moving on, for sure.
Victor, are you surprised by Henry Parrish's departure?
Not really. I mean, you had hinted at it, so there's that. But also, we talked about that's a position where we're overloaded. Looks like Fletcher's the starter. If you're a veteran, you're going to want to start. I'm surprised AJ Allen is still here too, to be honest.
Yeah,
because you think they'd. Fletcher's the guy there. We got some freshmen pushing.
Still got 3 weeks, Fish.
That's true. That's true.
He is hurt, so it might be tough for him.
And as Lex said, we're at 91, so more got to go. So no, I think when we know Fletcher's kind of established as the starter, we've got all these talented younger players pushing for playing time. I could see if Parrish has a good exit where he knows he's going to get carries, it's kind of his last chance to do that.
Yeah.
So it's understandable, reasonable from him.
Yep.
Wish he hadn't fumbled the ball on the goal line against North Carolina.
Oh man, Blue. Do you obviously Parrish was an integral part of this offense.
Yeah.
When he was healthy, he was a very good running back, really good running back. We all kind of get the feeling, and I think we know this, that this is Mark Fletcher's backfield, right? And then everybody else will contribute: Citizen and AJ Allen and Chris Johnson, Chris Humphrey-Wheatley, Jordan Lau. You've got a lot of guys back there that are talented, right? And like you said, one of them may get their shirt burned, and they'll get some minutes and they'll get some carries, whether it's in the backfield or even playing a little return slash slot guy or whatever, right? Something, right? They're going to get an opportunity to be dynamic out there. I think that's what Coach Dawson wants to be anyways, right? He wants to be dynamic. He wants to have his best playmakers, his fastest guys out on the field at all times. Elijah Lofton's another one that could get burned in the backfield, right? He's if you look at him, he doesn't look like your prototypical tight end.
He's pretty fast.
But he's fast. He's strong.
He's pretty fast.
He's built like a Mack truck, though, right? Like
he's like DJ, as far as what he could do for a team. I mean, I think when I watched him, I said, that's probably a good. I was thinking about Brevin because he comes from the same school, wearing the same number, but
he's more like DJ Dallas, right?
He's more like DJ Dallas because you could put DJ in. On the medical squad and he'd do something. I mean, he was that versatile. So and he's still playing in the NFL. So that shows you. But he's more like DJ Dallas in the fact that he's got some speed to him. At first I didn't, watching him on tape, I thought, you see him up close and personal, he'll motor away from you.
And he's not a skinny guy by any chance.
No, he's not. He's pretty thick.
He's a pretty thick guy. So I think it's exciting to see guys that look like that already. Right. This is what we're all talking about. You see guys on some other rosters, on some national championship rosters that look like this as freshmen coming in.
Yeah.
Now Miami is starting to get some of those guys that look like this. They look like Trevante Citizen. That look like JoJo Trader. That look like Maui Noah on the offensive line, and so Ruben Bay, right? These guys, those are the guys.
As long as you recruit those championship high school programs like Central, like Bishop Gorman, like St. Thomas, like Chaminade, those type of programs, Bosco, they're going to get these dudes.
Absolutely, and that's what Miami's starting to do more consistently, right? Because they got their guys every once in a while. They got a guy here and there, but now they're doing it more consistently, where they're taking the big boys and the studs, and so that's really exciting to see. And I think Miami's going to continue to do that moving forward. So as long as they can continue, they've got to start winning though, right? And if they start winning, then all bets are off. I think it's going to be exciting times.
Oh yeah. Well,
we'll see what happens.
Pretty much that's be their calling card. They won't have the program will sell itself like these upper tier teams do. Absolutely. I'm sure Georgia don't have to beg many kids to go. I mean, either they're going to go or not. Because if they don't, they always have somebody else, and that's where Miami's got to get in that situation that nobody. There's too many guys that play games with Miami. And that's going to be.
And that's starting to go away now because Mario's not playing that. So that's the good thing.
And I think it's also important to kind of remember when Parrish transferred in what the running back room looked like 2 years ago. We had a lot of potential and we had a lot of unknowns, but we really kind of weren't sure what we were going to get. Sure, we all saw the high school highlights and stuff, but now we're getting a more established running back room with contributors that we know what we're going to get. And so now there's no room for Parrish in terms of kind of being that veteran presence, only because of the talent at the position itself.
Yeah,
we'd also
now, and it goes back to the rosters from 2 years ago, like Blue was talking about, like he said, his buddy. Compare the roster from 2022 to now, and it's a completely different ballgame.
Yeah.
We also we hired his running back coach from Ole Miss, who then left. So
that is true.
That was part of his transfer. Like those happened in sequence. hired his coach, then he followed him here, and then his coach went back, and he was still here. So,
see, I think if Parrish, going back to Mississippi, would only there's a logjam there too. There's other dudes that are pretty good. I'd go to FIU, then he'll get carries. If he wants to get carries, go to a program like that.
I agree.
That's what I'm saying. Then, because he's not going to be able to show himself off as a NFL type of back if he's only going to get 7 carries a game. He goes to a program like an FIU type of program. Like Naquan Wright from Florida has been at USF. So, and last year he ran for over 1,000 yards. So you got to go where they're going to play. If you go to Ole Miss, it just becomes a role player. And does he could have been a role player here?
Well, he might go to SMU. You never know.
With everybody else.
Yeah, with everybody else. That's the SMU Hurricanes over
there. Dallas and Dade County.
Speaking of running backs, I'm segueing the crap out of stuff today, huh?
You're on your game, Jazz.
I'm telling you, right? This guy has a great name. First of all, once you pop, you can't stop, right?
Yeah, you can't stop.
Girard, I had to. I'm sure he gets that all the time. Girard Pringle is look, talk about getting kids from the right schools. Yeah. Miami has not gotten a kid from Sefner Armwood, okay?
Ever.
Since like 1978. I don't know the date.
Never. I don't remember one.
It was one guy. They mentioned there was one guy, but like
I remember when this was back in. This is like 20 years ago or so.
Yeah. It was. There's some guy named Kelly. I think it was. I don't know, something like that. Anyways, we're talking about a prestigious high school football program in Armwood.
Yeah.
And Miami hasn't gone in there and grabbed the guy, and they finally got their guy in. He's a stud, a 4-star prospect running back, Girard Pringle. A solid kid already. He's the 6th, I think he's the 6th fastest kid in the 100 meters in the state of Florida, running like a 10.56. Everybody else on that thing is just pure track guys.
Yeah.
Okay. You're talking about
Chris Johnson will leave his ass in the dust, but that's okay.
Hey, he might. But a 10.56 running back at 5'10". 185 pounds. He's
who was a receiver as a 9th and 10th grader. He started out as a receiver. I got a picture of him at 7-on-7 at USF, and he played a lot of receiver when he first got there. And,
by the way, Chris Johnson will leave a lot of people in the dust.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
But if you watch him, he not only is a great line from scrimmage runner, but he catches the ball out of the backfield. Reminds me of Lamar Miller in the fact that he'll get out there, use some speed, and also get in a wheel route situation, and he's going to be lethal like that too. So, yeah,
I'm excited to see him. He's a talented running back. Max says that don't be surprised if we take a running back in the portal.
Okay,
that's interesting. And look, you might get a guy
never run out of them.
No, and you might have to get a guy like you said, a solid veteran experience guy. The truth is, Mark Fletcher is the truth. He's a badass, but he's gotten hurt a couple times.
Yeah.
So you need AJ Allen's kind of banged up a little bit all the time. Cervante Citizen has missed 2 years because of injury. Yeah. You need
that's there. I agree.
I'm open to getting a veteran.
I am too.
Running back is a position where injuries can definitely accumulate quickly early in the season a lot. So it's important to get
those nagging injuries turn into something better, and boom.
Yep.
Before you know it, they got 2 guys. And no, I agree with you 100%. And
that's how it makes sense. And, by the way, Flo's comparison to his comp for Girard Pringle is Raheem Mostert.
Okay.
I like that.
He won't run as hard as Mostert. Mostert's a hard runner.
He's fast too. So is
Pringle. I'm just saying as far as hard running, Mostert's a little bit bigger.
Where did Mostert go to college again?
No. Okay.
Well, I think it was a Big Ten program. Toledo, right? Did he go to Toledo? No, he didn't go to Toledo. Anyways.
Someone will pop it in there.
Yeah, someone will pop it. Look, I really don't care, what the
cost. Yeah, whatever it is, it is.
Purdue, there you go. Purdue, there you go. Yeah, it was a Midwest school. Look, I just want guys that are going to come in here, run hard, be productive. whether they're guys that are pure speed or if they're power guys or a little bit of both.
Yeah, sure.
I'm excited to see that running back room, as good as it is and as loaded as it is. There's some guys there that are a little injury prone, so you definitely need some more bodies in there and some. I just wonder who they would go after at running back. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of kids that are going to pop out into the transfer portal now after the spring, anyways. So Miami is going to be in the running for a lot of really good prospects. There's still some guys that are out there right now that haven't found a spot yet, and I think are still looking and negotiating their options. So we'll see what happens in the transfer portal. I'm excited to see what's going on there as well. I know there's some other guys, Blue, that you saw this weekend. Dallas Wilson. Who's the other? There was another wide receiver that was there, another big time prospect.
Can't remember. The offensive lineman for Jersey had a kid
from Jalen Matthews, right?
Jalen Matthews. They had the kid from California, big kid, who everybody was kind of sucking up to. I forgot his name.
Oh, we got to give props to Martin. This is our guy right here, Vish. Martin, good morning, gentlemen. Welcome at 2:30 a.m. to watch you guys from Botswana. This football team will be the baseball team will be the death of us. Man. Forget about the football team, the baseball team. But Martin, we appreciate it, my man. Thank you so much for getting up.
Wow. 2:30 a.m. I wouldn't even watch me at 2:30
a.m. I try, man. I can't do it. So we appreciate it, Martin. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate the love.
Yeah.
Who are you thinking about, Blue? Who's the guy? That's
California.
California kid. You know what? I read a whole bunch of stuff this week, and I totally forgot.
Because I kept walking around looking at name tags of kids.
Yeah.
Because it's awfully tough if you don't see them every day.
Jennings, a kid named Jennings.
Because even kids here will come up to me and goes, "Hey, you don't know who I am." I go, "You know what? If you tell me who you are, I'll tell you what you ate for breakfast." Because seeing the kids, I usually see them with a helmet on and stuff like that. So it's really tough for me. But there was a lot of kids. I was looking at their name tags and stuff. They've got some, over the next couple, like tomorrow, they got a couple of really good kids coming up, and I'm going to try to make it back down Saturday.
Okay. And April 13th is
the spring game.
You know what's stupid about? I'm going to talk about this right now because I'm a little pissed off about.
What, you got rejected for a press pass?
No, not yet. But listen, hey, you never know.
I'm preparing you.
It's still early. Oh, by the way, Braden Locke took first team reps in the team's first spring practice over at Wisconsin. So, I can't remember his name either, but I know there's a kid named Jennings, also.
Well, they had the other tight end too. That really good tight end there that was there too. Not the kid from Indiana, but the kid from Ohio. The guy's he's a beast. I think he's committed to Ohio State.
I know there's a kid, Nathaniel Marshall, right?
This kid was another kid that I saw walking by, and I think it was his mom. I talked to his mom a little bit, and a lot of these kids were, some of the parents were disappointed because it came from the Midwest and they had to be inside.
I know, right? Instead of getting
kind of banking on being outside, but what else can you say? You have a program where, that's on the build, and, you just look up in the rafters and see all those names, like all the big time names that have played there that a lot of the parents remember. And I think that helps out too, and having the facilities. And when they get a start on that new facility that has been proposed?
It's Coral Gables, man. So it's taking forever from that. Oh, Chris Ewald, right?
Oh yeah, Chris was there.
Ben Hanks was there.
Let me tell you something. I think Chris Ewald has turned into the best defensive back in the state.
Wow.
I elevated him to my number 8 spot overall. He got bigger, and Benny Hanks was there. Yeah, he was there too.
Those are two big time prospects.
Let me tell you, Chris Ewald. Remember when he first got offered by Michigan as a 9th, 10th grader? It's only 5'8" or 5'9". He was smallish. Jesus,
where's he at right now?
Yeah, he's got to be close to 5'11".
Awesome. That's what I want to hear right there.
Yeah, he got a lot bigger, and I saw him. He and I'll tell you another one. They got I know it's a 26, but They got to go after Minka Fitzpatrick's brother. Holy.
Oh,
Christmas.
yes. He's over at St. Thomas as well, right?
Yeah, he's a monster ass kid. He grew a lot too. A lot of these kids, that's the thing, they grow, and and then like at the Under Armour when I saw them, and you're standing next to them, and you go, damn, he got bigger. That's why I saw Chris Ewald, and I had to check the number in my on my sheet, and I go, damn, that's him. He got bigger. But
Jamie French, Blue. That's
Jamie French is I don't know though.
Former Alabama commit.
Well, the only thing that'll keep him, he's being pursued by everybody.
Yeah.
I know Florida's probably putting a collective together for him. But yeah, Miami's got a good shot. I mean, if they show up there and they look like they have a good time, hang out with the guys and, if they're hanging out with the guys and having a good time, you know how it is, because that's how a lot of these 7-on-7 tournaments that you see a lot of kids come back and they transfer because they hang out and, and they go, hey, dude, man, if you went to my school, we could be doing this all the time. And next thing you know, they're at the school.
Right.
Because, those 7-on-7s, they're supervised, but they're not supervised. These kids stay out till like 3 a.m. or stay up till 4 a.m, checking out videos and watching movies, and, they're hanging out.
They're bonding.
Yeah, looking at the ladies, and then all of a sudden the guy goes, oh, this is sweet. He goes, yeah, but you could do this all the time if you hang out with us.
What are you talking about?
Go to our school.
They don't do that. They're strictly about football there, okay? They're going to sit there. They're going to sit and watch film the whole time.
I remember my days of football camp. We had a good time. I'll just say that.
We got a question here from D Briz on Hellcat. What do you think of Hellcat?
I like him.
Blue looks good.
I like him. Yeah, no, I do. I think by him coming in early was so huge because of the fact that, when he was at South Broward, he kind of did everything. And now they're kind of like, seeing what he could do. He catches the ball real well. He's great in space. And he's very fast. So, yeah, Miami recruited a lot of speed. And, if they run those, like those, usually at a lot of those teams.
Rounds and all that.
Yeah, they do that. I like him. He's got, obviously, like any 18-year-old freshman, he's got a lot of learning to do. But, he's got the capacity. I thought somewhere down the line that maybe he was a bit overrated. But then I watched and I said, well, they got him doing too much. They had him playing safety. They had him on returns. And, now he's just going to be able to settle in and play the position.
Right.
And but he's versatile. And that's the one thing you could say about Miami's backs. They're all really versatile in the fact that they can catch the ball. And that's where Pringle comes in. Like I said, I got a picture of him from the USF camp 3 years ago when he was a freshman and he was playing receiver. And I got a picture of him. And you could, one of the coaches said to me, he goes, that kid right there is going to be really special. So they're right. Him and the dude from Bluntstown, the big lineman, James Jones, I think.
Yeah. Well, let's hope they.
Yeah. You know what? These guys know, when you're around these kids, that's why I always say, I don't listen to another parent or somebody else telling me the kid's good. But if a coach who's around him every day tells me, you got to believe that.
I agree. I'm with you. And we got another question from a Melissa. I'm not sure who she is, but she's talking about Vish's hat and hoodie combo. I mean, first of all, the hat,
only she would comment on that.
I mean,
about the hoodie.
It's a good combo.
It is a good combo. The hat is on point. I am a fan of that hoodie though. The
hoodie is cool.
It does look pretty cool.
It's necessary. It's cold here.
It is right. I can't wear a hoodie right now. It's
I'm not going to do what
84 degrees here.
You can see mine and Jazz's fans going pretty good. So
I'm not going to resort to what the baseball players were doing this weekend, which is taking like the neck thing and pulling it over the top of their head. I'm like, dude,
it is miserable here right now.
I'll tell you what though.
How cold is it up there, Vish? Like 40s?
30s here. I'm sure it's colder than DJ's.
Yeah. 30s, high of like 45 today. Like, it's cold.
Snippy, man. When is it going to change?
We had our winter.
It was 2 weeks ago. It was in the 70s. Yeah. And then it came back. What a disappointment. I'm like, wait.
That's what they say.
2 weeks ago, you were down here, though.
No, when Matt was here, Matt shows up for the ACC tournament. It was like 70 degrees every day. Then he leaves and like back to cold.
Oh man, what a bad one. All right, well, yeah, guys will get them back. You'll get you. It'll start warming. It's got to, right, at some point. So,
yeah, eventually.
But not yet. Oh man,
we'll let you know.
Thanks.
Denver usually, if you remember that one year, I think in the second week of the Rockies, it snowed. Like in May, I mean, like in April, second week of April.
I remember a White Sox game that I saw in mid-April that was raining, that was snowing as well. So in Chicago, so I can get it. I can see that. What do we got here, Mr. Bluestein?
I kind of covered that. I said maybe a secondary.
Oh yeah. You did.
The secondary probably needs a little bit more depth. I think receivers, I mean, you got a bunch of them, but is anybody going to go in there and, take over? And we had that run there for, with Rambo, and then what's his name the year before I was playing with the Vikings.
I think you'll see them go get one in the transfer portal.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, listen.
KJ Osborne?
Who?
Yeah,
Osborne. So you had the streak of those two guys 2 years in a row, or 2 out of 3 years, and you see, if you could come up with somebody like that, all bets are off.
Yeah.
But who is it going to be?
Right.
I mean, everybody's looking for the same thing as you are, and even as we speak, I'm sure Ohio State's not looking for a receiver, perhaps. Boy, I'll tell you what, the things they're saying about Jeremiah up there. Even Brandon Ennis said it. He goes, kid's just a whole different level. It's just like an NFL guy coming in to play now.
He's going to get some significant playing time there. That's for sure. That's for sure. Well, Brandon Ennis, I mean, look, they lost Coach Alford. They all should just come down here anyways. But no. Well, we've still got a lot of spring practice to cover. I'm sure we will see. Robbie, we covered that a little earlier on the quarterback, so make sure you check it out.
He's got major arm strength there, Robbie. I'll tell you.
Make sure you check that out.
Poffenbarger.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got major arm strength. He really looks good though.
Yes, it is the best quarterback room we've had in a long time. Yep. Vish,
Melissa's playing Captain Obvious tonight. So
last time she compliments Blue.
I know, right? Jeez. That's what I was gonna say about the spring game. I got an email saying here, reserve your spring game tickets for your season ticket holders. Right?
$5,000.
No. And then I go to reserve it and it says it's sold out. So why even send me an email?
Ooh, that's tough. Sorry, Jazz.
Well, they're playing at Cobb. So we're gonna have to figure something out there.
Like you said, boosters and money people are going to be the only ones that are going to be there. So
that's ridiculous.
Parking's going to be nuts.
Vish, I don't know if you got that email or not.
Wouldn't have come to me. It's on my.
That's right.
It's all that crap's in my sister's account, so we get the employee discount.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I got it, and and as soon as I got it, I go to click on to do it, and it says no, they're sold out. So what the hell is the point of sending it to me? But anyways, we'll figure it out.
You should be able to get credentialed,
right? Yeah. Well, yeah. I hope so.
Yeah.
Did they open up the parking garage? I never remember if they did.
I don't know what the hell's going to happen, but that day should be it should be interesting. We'll see what happens. Anyways,
it's not what date is it's not the same date as a baseball
13th.
game.
All of them are the 13th.
Yeah,
about to do
every single one of the ones are 13th because they got to be ready for the 15th. They use the 14th as the day that they sit in front of the cameras and say, "Hey, he's gone, and then the portal opens up on the 15th.
Gotcha.
All right, at least the baseball team is on the road that weekend, so not also trying to cram them on campus.
How about FSU? They sucked so bad last year. Now, who are they playing though?
Yeah, no, I think did they get swept by Clemson? I know they lost the series.
2 out of 3.
It was 2 out of 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they got
they played Maine and Community College of Rainier Village, and
their ACC start was easier than they got a little bit easier off to an easy. Well, we'll see. We're going up there in April, so.
I've seen Cole Monty. I think he was there. Yeah, he was there. Good-looking kid. Kind of tough to, again, it's tough to really know until they get in practice and start getting in and, hitting a little bit. But I was looking forward to the spring for this reason, to see a lot of these kids. And tell you what, though, you got to be impressed with Elijah Lofton, though.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him. Oh, Cole McConaughey, yeah, that's another kid that I talked about a while ago.
Yeah, from Alabama.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a good ball player too, so.
Well, he's played a tough schedule. I looked back, and they play a tough schedule.
Yeah, they don't mess around. So
no.
Good for him. Wednesday we got buckets. Tomorrow we've got Formula One. Formula One's been kind of crazy, especially after this past week.
I'm sure you enjoyed that.
I did. But it's almost bittersweet at this point. So,
hey man, last lap, George Russell came through.
He did. He sure did come through. This is the second time he does that with Carlito.
Well, they gave Alonso a penalty. We'll talk about this tomorrow. I guess I don't even know.
DJ, the people in Boston upset that my Rebels beat Boston College last night. Just after listening to Larinaga on his show the other night, saying that the Mountain West shouldn't have anybody in there over the ACC. And here's Colorado beating Virginia by 90, and then Colorado State, and then UNLV beat BC.
Boston College doesn't even register
San
here.
Diego State's going to make the Final Four again.
They're going to get blasted by UConn, but anyway.
Yeah, well.
Again.
UConn, no, Miami beat. Oh, yeah, that's right. They got blasted by them last year.
Yeah.
No, I watched that game last night. Boston College got some dudes, though.
They do.
Yeah, Quentin Post is a pain in the ass.
Yeah. But now UNLV's fun run ends to Wednesday. They play at Seton Hall, so we'll see.
You never know.
If they win, they go to Indianapolis for the Final Four of the NIT. So
look at that. That's exciting.
Old Lon Kruger's son's doing okay now.
That should be exciting.
Yeah, I know. Not for anybody but me, but that's all right.
Oh, man.
Since their 30-2 women's team got toasted by Creighton.
Wow. That's right. 30-2.
30-2, you come in and then you lay an egg.
Anyways, like I said, Tuesday we've got we got F1 hitting the apex. We've got Wednesday buckets, and we'll throw in Canes on deck somewhere. Who the hell knows at this point?
Maybe we'll do it around F1 tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe that might be a good idea.
All right,
F1. While we're podcasting.
Yeah, well, we might as well just throw it in there. We'll see, Rob. We'll see.
So, well, I mean, I think those two things are mutually exclusive.
Right. Yeah, no shit.
They're not really. Look, man, Blue is right. Mario, has kept all of his promises. I never heard him say he managed the clock correctly. So,
yeah,
not yet.
That was not one of the promises he made when he came
when
in.
He does get excited.
He said he's going to install discipline. That's happened. He said he's going to upgrade the talent. That's happened. He's going to professionalize the program. That's happened. He never mentioned the clock one time. So
this is true.
Rome wasn't built in a day. So
Robbie says you think Carpenter's going to fill Lee's shoes. It's a different type of player. I don't know if that's going to be possible.
Yeah,
Matt
Lee be awfully tough. You're talking about an NFL guy as opposed to a guy who's pretty good, not great.
Right. So we'll see if he can.
Lee came in and he just took over. He was a captain. You don't get the last person who did that was Russell Wilson. Yep. When Russell Wilson went from Wisconsin to NC State to Wisconsin, he walked in as the freaking captain.
Yep. That's tough to do. So it's hard to find guys like that. So
yeah,
if he can be serviceable and let the other guys shine as well, I think we'll be in good shape. So we'll see what happens there.
Thanks, Melissa. I love you, man. Thanks for your support.
Melissa, you're the best.
Don't encourage her. She's insufferable enough.
Oh man,
I'm not gonna ban me from my own show now.
Get him off the show, DJ. Get him off the show.
I'm trying, but
we'll see you guys next Monday on on the sunny and warm 84-degree edition of the Sick Things Canes. See you guys later.
The 6 Rig Kane Show. The 6 Rig Kane Show. The 6 Rings Kane Show. You know.